A big update is coming to TDX, and it is not only big, but it will be the biggest update ever released so far. The Nightmare update will come with tons of content like lots of towers, new enemies, and many other things. So I'm going to analyze everything coming to Nightmare, or at least most of it, in today's video. There's a lot of towers coming in this update, being the most amount of towers in a single update. Beginning with the shield tower. The shield tower, as its name suggests, is a tower that creates a shield around it and towers in range. It's a very simple tower that might be very important due to the insane amount of enemies that might kill towers. Our second tower in the list is the combat medic. You can tell what she does by her name already. The combat medic will attack enemies while also supporting towers, and it seems like she will have some kind of drone which we can see in a teaser. This drone, however, will act more as a support, as it doesn't have a gun. We can see both of her paths in the trailer, one with red colors and the other with blue colors. Now I'm going to the more important towers, towers that we have waited for years and are finally released, beginning with the refractor. The refractor is basically a accelerator from Tower Defense Simulator, but for TDX in some sense. The refractor is a tower that we know a lot about. We know how the two paths look, and it's very possible that one path is more focused on raw damage, while the other one is more of a crowd control while still having a good amount of damage. The damage for refractor will probably be absurd, more than Golden Juggernaut for certain. Then we have the Behemoth. It is something like a stronger tank, if you can say so. Every level of it is a tank, however it certainly will be stronger than the average tanks in the game, shooting laser beams at maybe even other things like missiles. This one is one of the coolest towers so far in Tower Defense X, and was hyped for a while. The War Machine. The War Machine is a unit type tower which spawns these machines that seem quite OP, having miniguns, missiles, cannons, and even flamethrowers, and maybe even more volcanoes. For the maps we firstly have this one, which looks like a GDA base. Next we have this one, which is an entirely destroyed city with a spaceship on the sky. This map that looks like an ancient temple with a void core in the enemy spawn. It also has some futuristic cannons which suggests that this map may have something special. As John said, there will be unique maps that work in unique ways with night, like the next one. This map has a gigantic robot with a massive gun. This map in particular does have confirmed mechanics, like some turrets in the map shooting instead of simply doing nothing. This one is a bit weird. It looks like some type of ancient temple. Maybe it is the Calamity Dimension itself. We don't really know yet. Now, we have lots and lots of enemies coming to this update, so I will try not to yap too much. Firstly, we will have some returning enemies and changes, such as the Eradicators, Destructor, Ex-Juggernauts, and many others. Eradicator Mark II Plus will come from the sky, while the Hunter enemy from Endless will get a rolling ability. It is possible that other enemies will also change a bit or get a new ability. Going to the new enemies, we have a lot of them. We will finally be getting the Bombardier, which was supposed to be in Endless but never was added. An enemy quite similar to Slammer. This thing, an enemy that was teased a while back ago that will shoot at your towers, which he looks quite like an Eradicator. Two enemies that look like plane pilots or something like that. Two flying enemies, the Thumper, which John said that he will be a nightmare to deal with, and this one with a nuclear symbol. We see him in the trailer too, but he looks way bigger there. Maybe he can change size. Next we have these green and red big enemies which probably work similarly as their appearance is very similar. We have these green variants of one of the interior enemies. This one have a gun and we also have a white variant of it. These spots which might spawn enemies. This quite of an engineer type enemy which will place down this machine that will probably buff enemies. Those big red enemies that look like they will have tons of health. New types of avatars, one shooting lasers and the other having a flamethrower. We will also be getting the Jaeger, which looks kinda like a predator but really isn't one of them. Those enemy tanks, which in my opinion will be very exciting to see and fight against. We will have multiple bosses like the X2 Trooper that will transform in some type of vehicle during the game probably. We will also have our final variant of the Predators, the Alpha Predator. It looks really cool and will probably be a lot harder than previous Predators. Finally we have the boss of Nightmare Mode. Or is it? Anyways, it is the Emperor. It looks very, and I mean very different from previous bosses, being a lot less Roblox blocky style, and being quite tall, honestly. We don't know much about the ability, but it will be able to slow down time, which is insanely OP, and it might even attack our base, maybe. By the insane amount of enemies with guns, cannons and many other things, it makes sense why this will be so difficult, as John said himself, that we will need a lot of support towers. After years of not being used for anything really, we will finally be getting use of the elevator in the lobby. We are not quite sure for what, but it might be for the nightmare mode. We also will be getting name tags, which is a cool feature that adds more things to do in the game. We will also have a new currency, the crystals. So if you grinded a lot of coins for the new towers, me included, it might have not been a good idea, but we will be able to trade coins for crystals, so at least we have that. With everything I've mentioned in this video, you can see that we are really getting the biggest update in TDX history, and that will be insane. In this mode we will get to see the full strength of the Xenon forces, with tanks, machines, zombies and with even herself going against us directly with the Emperor. We will even see spaceships, something that I didn't even expect to exist in the TDX universe until some months ago. We also had some OSTs that really sound like soundtracks from Halloween or Calamity himself. As John himself said, Nightmare will be technically two modes in one. So maybe there will be some type of Nightmare Plus only for specific maps. Now here is a theory of mine. It's possible that we will have more than one ending or something like that, as there will be a lot of maps that are quite unique. Some probably making the mode easy and others make the mode hard. Maybe depending on the map, we will get to see this entity that looks like Dr. Mallory, or redacted if you want to say so. As in this scene we can see that it is the same map host, and really this map has some really strong implications that this will happen. But yeah, that's pretty much it. The nightmare mode update will be insane and maybe the best TDX update yet, and I'm very excited for it, and I hope that you are too. So thanks for watching, and thanks for thanks for watching. Hit the like, subscribe, and goodbye.